Okay, hi, welcome your December update. I hope you guys all had a nice November and Thanksgiving. So a couple things I wanted to focus on this month. So the first thing is if you search in the portal for key roles, I just want everyone to update that and make sure that all those roles are correct. And in addition to that, if you could send us an updated roster of who is working in your office, just so that every once in a while, we just want to touch base and make sure that we know who's there so we can help keep track of CE, but we can also know who's in charge of what. So that would be great. So those are two sort of administrative things to do. But the next thing that I want to talk about is your monthly safety meeting. Today, I thought we could focus on emergencies and not, the medical emergency stuff, but sort of more office emergencies. So I was going to pick fire for today. So the first thing that you need to do is go in the portal and look at the fire emergency section. If you look at this is the main part of the portal. Search in here for emergencies. And then in here, it has emergency planning and disaster recovery. And it has this nice little thing here. So this is what it is, emergency planning and disaster recovery. You download it, which I did already. And then you can click on things. So we're going to focus on, as I said, fire. So if we go to fire, the basic part of the fire emergency so usually is that you want a front desk person that's, calling 911 and doing that. And then the other people are helping to gather patients. So you want to first plan an evacuation location, right? So everybody should know where you're going to meet. Is it at the dumpster, Dunkin' Donuts, wherever you're going to go? Whoever is in with a patient in the operatory is going to make sure that that patient gets out. It's really important. I know that sounds really silly, but it's really important not to just worry about getting you guys out. You have to get the patients out too. So, if you're in the chair with someone, if you're in a room with someone, you're going to get that patient out. The front desk is going to be in charge of getting people out of the waiting room. So if any kind of alarm sounds, you're just going to do an evacuation, right? You're not going to decide, was it a false alarm or whatever. You're going to just totally evacuate. So you can read what it says here. But obviously, if there's an active real fire, you can keep low. You're going to open the door carefully. If you're in a building and there's a fire somewhere else, if you can see outside, you're just going to go outside. So you're not going to forget the patients. You're going to call 911. You can call 911 when you get outside. That's fine. Have a cell phone. And make sure all the team members are out there, right? So it's really important also to know who's there that day and making sure that everybody's there, because you don't want someone who's in the bathroom to be forgotten about or something like that. So get all the patients, get all the team members out. If the fire is small, you can use a fire extinguisher on it, if there's a little fire. So we're going to watch a little video on how to use a fire extinguisher.
Please do understand that the portable fire extinguisher is for the beginning stage of a fire, meaning if you encounter the fire within the first few minutes of it, that you could probably put it out with that fire extinguisher. But if a fire has been burning for 5 or 10, 15 minutes, and you're wondering whether or not that fire extinguisher will put it out, it probably won't. So if you're ever in doubt, please just get out. Your safety is definitely our first concern, and we want you to leave the firefighting to the firefighters. I make the joke that you do not see firefighters running into a burning building with portable fire extinguishers because that's not what they are designed to do. So please understand that it is for the very beginning stage of a fire. For instance, if you encounter a trash fire, child playing with matches, or perhaps you've started a fire on the top of a stove, that's when you want to be able to grab your portable fire extinguisher and put the fire out. Otherwise, like I said, your safety is our first concern. Please get out, call 911, and leave the firefighting to the firefighters. Now, fire extinguishers pretty much all look the same. They're this beautiful red color. We have a handle. That's what you can carry it by, and it's actually the top portion of the handle, the trigger, that will emit the agent. They all have a safety pin in there, and that safety pin is tied on by a zip tie. And that's so that somebody doesn't accidentally lose that safety pin or a child tampers with the extinguisher, accidentally setting it off. They have some type of a nozzle or hose depending on the size of the extinguisher. They all should have a gauge, and this gauge is very important because the gauge is going to let you and me know whether or not this extinguisher is ready to use. If the gauge shows that the yellow arrow is in the green area, meaning it's charged and ready to go, then as far as you and I know that this is ready and it can be used. Otherwise, if you notice that the yellow arrow has dropped below the green, that means the extinguisher has lost charge for whatever reason and cannot be used. So please, if you ever notice an extinguisher that the yellow arrow has dropped out of the green, get it off the wall immediately, call maintenance, call whoever might be in charge of that extinguisher and have them replace it immediately. If you leave it on the wall, the chance that somebody might need to grab it and use it is putting them in a high risk, so please. And if you ever notice that your personal extinguisher has lost a charge, you can look in the phone book under fire extinguisher companies. Several companies can assist you with recharging your extinguisher. A lot of the ones in businesses will have a tag on them. This means that annually a fire extinguisher company is coming out and checking this extinguisher out, making sure it's charged and ready to go. So annually somebody is physically touching this extinguisher and making sure it's in good working condition, but it would be helpful if you ever notice anything wrong with your extinguisher that you notify, somebody that can get that fixed immediately. We actually teach an acronym that helps you remember how to use the extinguisher. It's very simple and the word is PASS. PASS stands for pull, aim, squeeze, and sweep. PASS. First thing that you want to do is pull this safety pin out. This extinguisher will never work until you pull this pin out. Be sure you're not depressing the top portion of this handle at the same time because you're just pushing and pulling against yourself. So pull this pin out and discard it. You do not need the pin. Then you're going to aim the nozzle. You always want to aim at the base of a fire. It's very important that you understand what the base of the fire is because even though flames may be coming up out of that fire, out of the base of the fire, you can knock those back, but until you get the agent on the actual base of the fire, it will not be extinguished. So please understand that if you have a trash can that's on fire, that something inside of it is on fire, flames may be coming out of that trash can and you can knock it back, but until you get that agent inside that trash can, the fire is not actually going to go out. So be sure that you always aim at the base of the fire. So pull, aim, squeeze. You're going to squeeze this trigger. It will break a seal on the canister and the agent will be pushed out. Pull, aim, squeeze, and then we ask everybody to sweep so that you're sure that you cover the whole base of that fire. You want to be sure that you don't get tunnel vision, spray in one spot, which could easily spread the fire side to side. You want to keep a distance of about 8 to 10 feet when you encounter a fire and you're going to use your fire extinguisher. And that's because you never know how much pressure is inside the extinguisher, how you're going to react, or how the fire might react. So if you start a good distance of 8 to 10 feet away, start spraying, then you can work yourself up to that fire as you get a little more comfortable. You always want to leave your back to an exit, and this is very important. Fire grows very rapidly. It can actually grow 7 times itself in 1 minute. So if you think about the time that it takes you, once you've discovered a fire, to find your extinguisher, to call 911, several minutes could have gone by. You want to be sure that you don't get overwhelmed. You need to keep your back to an exit. If that fire gets out of control, then you can get out. I highly recommend that you familiarize yourself with where the extinguishers are located throughout your building, wherever you work.
So that video is actually available in the portal also. And if you just look up, fire extinguisher, it has it in there. It shows you how to use it, there's a video there. So your job now is to practice a fire drill just to make sure that everybody knows where they're supposed to go, pretend there are patients there. It just takes a couple minutes, pretend there's an alarm, make sure that somebody is going to call 911. Someone is going to get the patients in the operatories, someone's going to get the team members, and someone's going to get the patients that are in the waiting room. All right. Any questions, you can always reach out, but that is your safety meeting for today. So after this, just fill out the form that says that you've watched the safety meeting and you understand it. And then any questions, give us a call. Thanks.